Good evening. Welcome to another episode of the McGonigal Podcast, or as I call it, Meet the Press for Stupid People. It's good to see everybody. We have a great show for you today, great guest. On my left, very funny comedian and co-owner of comedy Train Rek, Mike O'Donnell is here.
Hey,
Thanks for coming out, Mike.
Thanks for having me on.
On my right, the host of the very popular podcast Dad Meat and Little Stinkers, and author of the upcoming book Delco Dirtball, Mike Rainey's here.
Thank you for having me, Eddie.
Thanks for coming out, Mike. You guys will regret this after this hour. Every other guest, Chip Chandler still hasn't gotten over coming here. Still hasn't gotten over. This is what I want to start with. I don't know. Did you see this? A bunch of comedians met with the Pope. Did you see? It was the weirdest thing. The Pope asked for an audience of comedians. It was Chris Rock, Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Colbert, Whoopi Goldberg. You know what? Met with the Pope. And I'm not sure if I'm more offended as a Catholic or as a comedian. I mean, it was. Did you? What do you think the Pope should be meeting with comedians, or comedians should be meeting with the Pope?
I thought it was cool, but I thought it was inappropriate that he had Gallagher show up and he smashed a giant grape to make the wine that they ended up drinking during the mass. That was inappropriate, but
that was bad.
Did you think you might make the short list, Ed? Is that
No, that's the only short list that I'm not going to make. I would have loved to have turned down the Pope. That would have been awesome. But the Pope would have called and said, "No, that's not that. I have too much integrity."
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Kensil and Whit weren't there. And then Kensil would have to get gas money for driving to Italy. That would have been awesome.
Kensil would have had to buy a bishop puppet.
Yeah, exactly. And Wynn would have had a collection of hats, like all the
digging through Vatican relics. All right, what do we have here? All right.
Never had to hold up midnight mass while Whit cleared the altar of all his props.
I made the wrong turn.
Why though? Like, did it get into that?
I have no idea why the Pope would want to meet with comedians. It's ridiculous. And the bad part was when Louis C.K. came up and was masturbating in front of the nuns. There's no reason for that.
Literally the sacristy.
There was no reason for him to do that.
I think the Pope just got Netflix and he's in the comedy now.
Right? Yeah, that could definitely it.
The
Exactly.
Pope is going to be doing a podcast soon.
It is cool. It's like, you remember that movie? What was the movie where Richard Pryor, he was bought by a rich kid?
The toy.
Oh,
The toy.
right.
Yes.
It might be a toy situation where, like, the Pope is just into this now.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, Richard Pryor's
Hey,
dead.
Chris Rock, how about you live in the Vatican for a little while?
Dude, I don't think it's that far-fetched.
No, I could see it.
It's amazing that the Pope. That would have been hilarious if somebody like Bobcat Goldthwait would have shown up and done something crazy instead. But he had all these safe comedians like Whoopi Goldberg. I mean, if that's the Pope's taste, I don't think he's qualified to be the Pope. If he thinks Whoopi Goldberg is a comedian.
Well, what's funny is that the comedians that are doing it are definitely going to do time about it. Because how could you meet the Pope and have that experience and not tell
Chris
it to the
Rock
stage?
has to have a good 25 minutes on that. He has to.
And all the comedians are going to be able to like basically compare notes of just everybody's experience when they talk. They
about also brought comedians from all over the world. So it wasn't just comedians that are well known to us.
Okay.
It's people that you've never heard of that are just huge in like friggin' Somalia.
Right. Yeah.
Somalia's
The
funniest.
Somalia Gallagher.
Yeah.
They don't let him smash anything. They don't have
clitorises.
just empty, just nothing.
The winner of last Somali comic standing got to go on there. That must have been awesome. Another thing I wanted to talk about. This is pretty awesome. Bill Belichick has a 24-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah.
Is that the greatest thing in the world? Now, what does he care? Tom Brady hates him, or Robert Kraft hates him. He's got a 24-year-old girlfriend. What's he care? That's pretty awesome.
No,
He's the GOAT. So now when you go to a Bill Belichick coaching clinic, he's talking about the wrong stuff. He's giving you advice on the wrong things. Belichick, that's awesome.
Well, dude, the video that came out earlier this year of him leaving somebody's house shirtless, that was that chick.
Oh, really?
So everybody's like, what the fuck is Bill Belichick doing shirtless?
Oh, that's so
And
funny.
it turns out that was his
I thought it was another broad. It was her.
Yeah, I'm just super. Like the first thing I thought of when I saw the story was like they're in a fight. She's like, "You're not listening to me." He's like, "We're gonna move on to our dinner conversation. we're gonna move on to dinner."
That's unbelievable. I mean, I hope she knows CPR if she's dating a 72-year-old man. I just hope. That's unbelievable.
She's angling the will, though. But I mean, he's got so much money that he could probably at least take care of her, put her in a house, and just be like, "That's it. That's the."
You would have lost a lot of money if you said Belichick was getting better pussy than Tom Brady. You would have lost a lot of money. I guarantee that. That's unbelievable. Adam Vinatieri kicked that game-winning field goal, and Belichick's getting better pussy. I mean, that's unbelievable. Belichick with a 20. What other coach do you think is a pussy hound? I guarantee you, Rich Kotite never got 24-year-old girls. Rich Kojak was never banging a 24-year-old girl.
Well, dude, think about who.
Rich Kojak.
Well, I think it's dead. But I think anybody who seems like a pretty significant hard-on is probably the pussy hound. Like Belichick, you never saw it coming. That's why it's happening.
Yeah.
So you got to think, all right, who else in the NFL is just obsessed with football that you think would not even have a passing thought of pussy?
Well, some of them old school guys. If that's the case, Bud Grant must have really been getting a lot of pussy because nobody was a more harder ass than Bud Grant.
Well, dude, I read Bill Parcells' autobiography and he was a pussy hound too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tuna?
Yep.
The tuna.
The tuna.
He got nicknamed that because
the-
he would come in without showering.
Yeah,
tuna was
double
getting laid.
entendre.
It'd be great if you found that he was borrowing cocaine off of Lawrence Taylor to get these women. That would have been hilarious. That would have been hilarious.
I think Gruden probably gets at,
Gruden.
You know.
How about Tom Landry? You think he under that fedora he had something going on to bang broads, maybe? Chuck Noll?
Yeah, the old school guys definitely.
John Madden. John Madden had to be getting pussy.
I would say that the old school guys definitely because the shit wouldn't get out. They could keep
Well,
things
that's
under
true.
wraps.
That's true.
A lot
You
easier
never know.
back then.
Vince Lombardi might have been banging half the cheerleaders for all you know.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Belichick, 24-year-old girl. That is fucking awesome. Brady thought he was the hot guy, and Giselle divorced him, and Belichick's getting laid. That's awesome.
He messed up. You cannot let your wife start taking jujitsu.
That's the lesson from Tom Brady.
You just can't because it's just so intimate. It's so physical. And when you have a wife who doesn't have problems, like somebody like Giselle Bundchen has,
Right.
she's going to manufacture some. And
Didn't that happen to Elvis Presley? Wasn't his wife cheating on him with a karate instructor? Priscilla? I think
Yeah,
Priscilla was
I think that
cheating
was
on
true.
him. I
Yeah.
think, so Mike's theory might be true.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she was cheating on him with a karate instructor. Yeah, anybody out there's got a hot wife, don't let her take karate.
Well, this week, what's his name? Matt Stafford, his wife came out.
That
Said to
shit?
make him jealous, she started
was-
banging the second string guy.
Yeah.
Wow,
It's like, what do you-
that is unbelievable.
How do you win?
Can you imagine that? Banging your backup?
Did you see him, Eddie?
Oh, no.
Oh, dude.
The backup? Is that bad?
And how do you let that go on a podcast? Like, keep that shit to yourself.
Dude, I think like when people get to a point where they become so wealthy, money does solve like 90% of most people's problems.
Right.
Aside from money, it's like, yeah, people are you're gonna have some health issues eventually.
Right.
When people pass away, but 90% of people's problems, I would say, are money related. And
Yeah,
once
you
you
would
don't
think.
have that, then people are manufacturing problems. Hold on,
That's a
I'll
good
find
point.
picture
You're right.
of
You're
this
sitting
guy.
around just trying to come up with something to be mad about. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
But yeah, I mean, like, she gets, I mean, that and the Haktua chick, like the biggest thing on the internet right now.
That's the backup?
Yeah.
Oh
He
my
looks like
God.
he's diseased or something.
A gaunt ginger.
Holy cow.
Wow.
That's unbelievable. He looks
Dude.
like I think I worked with him in a pickle man game. I'm pretty sure. Look at him.
He looks like if Tom Brady got stuck in a fire.
Tom Brady had HIV is what he looks like. More than that. So Mike, you're from Delco.
Yeah, man.
Did you see the big story this week of the crossing guard who was selling the kids pot?
I did.
That was awesome.
It really caught me by surprise that she was also a midget.
Is that true?
Yep.
Yeah,
And
little black midget.
You can't
yeah.
tell. All right, so when you look at it, it's like, all right, I don't know. I'm not sure what this person is because there's a lot of makeup, but then there's also a mustache. And you look at the mug shot, you're like, all right, well, this is an interesting person. But then when they showed the perp walk,
Yeah.
this person's like 3.5 feet tall.
Wow.
So it
Looked a little like Beetlejuice, a little bit. That's awesome, though. A midget crossing guard pot dealer who's possibly a transgender. That's fantastic.
Wow,
that's
yeah,
fantastic.
that
Gotta be
checks-
Time Magazine's Person of the Year.
It just shows
that's
how
awesome.
how harsh the crossing guard crisis is right now.
Yeah, you got to
Like
sell
they
pot as a
desperately
side
need
hustle.
people.
Yeah, they can't find anybody. They had to hire pot dealers.
Yeah, right.
That's unbelievable.
That's a speed bump.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I heard
that's dangerous for drivers.
In Los Angeles, Harvey Weinstein is working part time as a crossing guard. That's the kind of shortage they have. That was unbelievable when I saw that crossing guard. But imagine if you're a kid, how easy it is to get your pot. Remember how hard it was when you were in school to get pot? These kids got the crossing guard giving it to them. These kids are too soft. The crossing guards are giving them pot.
I had
They're
one
way
really
too-
nice one. In hindsight, I was probably being groomed, but I had a really nice crossing guard. Remember how like through like Columbia House, like you would like sign up and get either videotapes or CDs.
Yeah.
we'll
Sure,
send you
sure.
12 for, like,
99
12 for
cents or
penny,
something.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
But one day, it was toward the end of the school year. I was walking to school. The guy pulled me aside. He's like, I'm going to show you this. And he unfurls his paper. He's like, pick which one you want. And he's like, you could pick any of these movies. And I was like, all right, this one. I picked Back to School by Rodney Dangerfield.
Classic, yes.
And the next school year, once he saw me, he's like, here, I got something for you. My Back to School VHS came in.
Wow. Oh, yeah, he had other ideas.
Yeah. And then he's like, let me show you something. We should watch it together.
He wasn't just the Siskel and Ebert of Delco. He was not. He had other things on his mind. He definitely was working towards another goal.
His penis was in the VHS. He's like, open it up.
He wasn't. He wasn't a film connoisseur necessarily. Yeah, I don't know. That sounds a little fishy, giving out movies to kids. There's something going on there. There's something behind the scenes. Oh, that's fun.
So with this crossing guard thing, though, do you think that she was a pot dealer and she just started soliciting kids, or she was hearing some chatter about like, hey, we can't get pot, and she like filled a need?
Dude, I think it was somebody. All right, you know, you can look at a person's eyes and get a good feel for what their life is. I used to work with a guy who used to describe people as having dumb eyes. He's like, I worked with a guy who had dumb eyes. And I was like, what do you mean by that? He's like, you could just look at somebody. And the person he used for reference was the old Phillies outfielder, Dominic Brown. He's like, Dominic Brown has dumb eyes.
Dominic Brown has dumb eyes.
Somebody you can look at and just tell what's going on in their world.
Yeah.
And I think with this crossing guard, my interpretation is that her faculties probably aren't all there, but she had enough about her to get through this job interview, and they need people to be crossing guards, especially in lower income areas.
Right.
So the standards weren't that high.
Right.
So I think it's just a case of like she's probably mentally on their level.
Right.
I think every job in America has lowered their standards so much that they just take anybody. Look at Boeing; every plane's falling apart because they're just hiring anybody as a mechanic.
Well, it's also because if anyone tells, they get killed.
Yeah, that's true. Boeing, you wiped out faster than. Well, faster than I wish I had a reference for that. I wish I had a punchline. I was going down the road and didn't have a punchline. But dumb eyes is great. That's hilarious. You can go to an open mic and pretty much 99% of the people have dumb eyes. I got to remember that. Dumb eyes. That's hilarious. Dumb eyes. That's hilarious. Did you see where the International Criminal Court, they indicted Benjamin Netanyahu? They put a warrant out for his arrest. They want to arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. I was thinking, how great would it be if Netanyahu goes to jail and, like a lot of guys in jail, he converts to Muslim? How great would that be? He converts to Islam. That would be just the greatest thing ever. I mean,
he's got to do squats with a Palestinian on his shoulders.
Yeah, I'm seeing it like in Oz. Yeah, he's doing the pull-ups with the star on his back.
That would how great would that be? Netanyahu in jail with the guys with the headscarves and.
Where do you go if you're convicted of a war crime? Where do you go to prison?
Is it a special prison for war criminals?
Yeah.
I'm sure, right? Can't put him with the other people.
He's rooming with Dick Cheney. The two of them are in there together.
Yeah.
That would be so funny if he converted to Muslim and he just was in there and while they're bowing to Mecca and he's just sitting there watching them.
Yeah, your little hat gets a little bit bigger.
Yeah, exactly. That's great.
Yeah, is there something different about you? Like, I don't know. You tell me, man. He's just jacked and he's got like a pencil thin beard.
Yeah, where do they send you if you get convicted of war crimes? That's a good point.
They try you in The Hague, right?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Where do you go from there?
I think you go to the gallows. I think you use
maybe.
times.
Maybe.
There isn't a prison sentence. It's
Just kill you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's same. But then Larry Krasner comes in and reduces your sentence.
Yeah.
You're out on bail. Don't worry about it.
What's the spectrum of war crimes? Like, I know that's like genocide's probably at the far end, but at the other end, they got you for like loitering in the Gaza Strip?
Yeah, it's only one war crime. That's the jaywalking of war crimes.
Yeah,
I got a DUI in Gaza.
Yeah, jaywalking in Beirut. Yeah, there could be. Yeah, that would be hilarious. That's funny. What is the scale for war crimes? That is funny. That is, but it's a but. Wouldn't you just love to see him actually go through with it and arrest him and see how that would work? That would be hilarious. It'll never happen, of course, but.
I wonder if they'd arrest him like they do. Remember they used to have child support stings where they tell guys they won playoff tickets? Like, how would you get Netanyahu to show up to something thinking he won tickets?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe he's like the Pope's putting on a comedy show. You're invited. Then he comes, and
They
that's
tell him,
it.
listen, come on down. We're gonna bomb. We're gonna bomb Gaza. It's gonna be great. Come, we get your front row seats to bombing Gaza.
Yeah.
And he shows up, and it's
Don't
a
make
sting.
fun of me, man.
It's a sting. Oh, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. I was reading about this woman who she had a baby in the bathroom at Golden Corral.
Oh, wow.
And she named the baby Corral.
Was she related to the crossing guard?
And I was thinking, thank God she wasn't shopping at BJ's Wholesale tonight. She did that. But what's the worst place you could have a baby and then name the kid after? I mean, there's got to be like Hooters or Stuckies. I mean, what?
I don't know. Hootie? That's a cool name.
Hootie is, it's Bucky's. That would be bad.
Dirty Dicks would be bad. Ponderosa.
Bass Pro Shop.
TJ Maxx. I'm just running through all
My
the.
son, Bass Pro.
Yeah. This is Marshall's.
But I mean, how urgent is your pregnancy? Like, if you can't wait to get to a hot, like if you're in line, if you're on like you're eating Salisbury steak, and you're just like, all right, I feel something, and it's not the Salisbury steak percolate.
Yeah,
Right.
what kind of discounts did she went there instead of going to the hospital? You know, like, I can't waste this coupon. I gotta go down to Golden Corral.
Well,
The
you
baby
know,
can wait.
Golden Corral too is like, this sucks right now, but the publicity will be amazing.
Actually, it's the only thing that ever improved Golden Corral's reputation. Their reputation's so bad. It went up. Yeah, a baby was born there. It's now more hygienic than ever.
Yeah. You'll see years later, Corral will start working at a Golden Corral and the full circle.
Do you think if you saw one, you could pick out a toilet baby?
A toilet baby?
If
A
I
baby
saw
was
one,
born in the toilet. Do you think just by looking at the baby?
that
you could tell?
crossing guard looked like she might have
Yeah,
been. That
she's
crossing
definitely
guard
a
we were
toilet
talking
baby.
about.
usually, and I would think that people toilet born are dumb eyed.
Dumb eyes, yeah, exactly right. Yeah, they're probably the dumb eyes people. There you go.
Oh man,
There's probably a lot of people. And I was going to say again, if you go to an open mic, you can probably point out a lot of toilet.
a lot of toilet babies.
Or if you go to a dollar store, some of the employees, and it look like toilet babies, I think.
Oh man, that's a great insult. Were you born in a toilet? There's no comeback to that.
But name the baby Corral. Can you imagine?
A Corral Buckhalter. Maybe he's another golden baby.
Oh my God, we're gonna hear from his people.
Good. I'd love to get sued. We could use the publicity. We'd love to offend some. We haven't gotten a lawsuit yet, a restraining order, nothing. A cease and desist order. Something's got to happen here. We got to offend somebody. That's what I tried when I mentioned Whoopi Goldberg. I was hoping we would get sued, but
I don't get.
I can't do anything to get sued.
The pregnancy, like where the people don't know.
That's amazing.
That's like insane.
You'd have to be in a
woman
coma,
had the
right?
prom baby or whatever. Didn't she have a baby in the prom
Yeah,
one time?
there were several news stories of women that they had the baby, and then they would say, "Oh, I didn't know I was pregnant." Well, how would you not know you were pregnant?
Yeah.
But what?
I guess some women's diets are just that bad. I have stomach pains every day of my life, man. I don't know.
That's amazing.
But I remember watching this one video because there's this channel where you can watch like police body cam videos, and there was one where this girl was clearly just lying to her mother and saying, "I didn't know I was pregnant," but I think she was just scared of her mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of that too. Teenage girl, and they say they didn't know they were pregnant. They just didn't want to tell somebody. They didn't want to tell their mom or whoever. They didn't want their friends to know. Yeah, and then they say, "Oh, I didn't know I was pregnant." Yeah.
And that's on the mom too, to be like,
how do you not know?
Yeah, how do you not see that and be like, something's different about you? It's like the beanie cap. Oh man.
So listen, I was thinking that they had the Pride Month and the Pride Parade. Don't you think there's a lot of similarities between the St. Patrick's Day Parade and the Pride Parade? I mean, there's really a lot of similarities.
A lot of floating.
A lot of drinking, a lot of guys kissing each other on the lips, a lot of people wearing really bad shades of green. I mean, there's a lot of if you went and you weren't sure which one it was, like if you just blindfolded somebody and took somebody, telling you that you couldn't tell what was the Pride Parade and whether it was the St. Patrick's Day Parade. There's a lot of similarities.
Have you been to either?
No. Thankfully, I haven't been either. I've been lucky for 58 years. I haven't been either. How about you? Have you been any of them?
Yeah, I've been to both. Both were a ton of fun, man. It's after about an hour though at any parade, I feel like you're just like, all right, I need to go home. I've seen all I can see. Even parades with the best of intentions get pretty disgusting.
Well, it's usually about an hour in when the gunshots started. Most parades in Philadelphia, you have a parade in Philadelphia, you're lucky if you make it that far without somebody getting shot.
Well, it's wild about the mummers. Like, I mean, I transitioned from New Year's Eve to New Year's Day like a long time ago. And like when people have their houses open in South Philly and like everybody just kind of goes everywhere. But even that, it's like a race against the clock because as the sun goes down, you're like, all right, we got to get out of here.
There's nothing in Philadelphia. You couldn't have anything. The violence wouldn't break out any kind of parade. I think when the Pope came, wasn't there a few gunshots a few years ago when the Pope was here? I'm pretty sure it was gunshots.
Yeah, probably.
It was from his bubble.
Yeah.
He was shooting out hot dogs.
Yeah, right, exactly. Let me show you guys how it's done.
We got back to the Pope again. We keep getting back to the Pope. I don't know.
Well, relative to that, I remember Jim Gaffigan performed at that.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
That was an amazing bit about the Pope stuff.
I don't know how you could do it. Would you be able to, I wouldn't be able to go up and perform in front of the Pope. But that sounds insane to me, perform in front of the Pope. I've done shows. Actually, I've done shows in front of priests, and that was bad enough. But the Pope, I can't imagine.
Yeah, it's like practice, and then you got the game.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to go after him a little bit,
Yeah,
you know?
You play the way you practice. So if you can do it in front of Priest Eddie, I have full faith that you could do it.
One time I was at the
in front of
Parx Casino, and and it was just the Parx Casino and performing. And I did I did some jokes about the priest and the older boys, And after the show, Joe Cocker said, "Hey, Ed, this is Father so and so. He was sitting in the back in street clothes. I know he's a priest, and
Right.
I'm up there doing jokes about the pedophiles.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm not his favorite comedian anymore.
What's the rules on them wearing street clothes? Like,
I
They
don't
have to
like
wear
it.
a wristband that says they're a priest.
You can't tell. They're undercover. I mean,
they have to tell you they're like cops.
Yeah.
If you're a priest, you got to tell me.
You got to tell me.
I don't think so. I mean, it's not right to me. When I was a kid, that never would have went on.
Are you wearing a wire? No, just a crucifix.
Yeah.
When I was a kid,
But it has a recorder in it.
priests and nuns never wore street clothes. Never. When I was a kid in the '70s, and now it happens all the time. It's weird.
There was a shift when I was in grade school. So toward the end of grade school, which was the early '90s, where nuns were allowed to show a little bit of hair. And at that point, it was like, there's a chink in the armor. Like there's a shift here. I don't know how severe it's going to be, but I don't know if I like that they're showing hair now.
Yeah, I know. And now they start showing that tramp stamp, and it's really going too far. When the Jesus tramp stamp they're all showing off. I mean, for God's sake, there's no reason for that. I mean, it's too far. I mean, I can loosen it up a little bit, but when you got the cigarettes rolled up and you have it, that's no good.
Do you think there are nuns with tattoos?
Oh, yeah.
That would be in today's society. It almost had to be, right? Because
Right.
every girl's got a tattoo. Well, not that anybody's going in a convent anymore. I mean, how long before the convent shut down? There's no girl's going to be. It's got to be at least maybe 10 years from now. There'll be no more nuns. Because what girl's going to go in a convent in this day and age?
Yeah, true. It's a vow of poverty. Who wants that? That's kind of tough ass.
Can you imagine? And even girls who go to Catholic school, I can't see in this day and age becoming nun. It just seems too weird.
Yeah, they're going to have to entice them like they do with soldiers, like give them like Dodge Chargers or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's like now only almost poverty. It's not about poverty anymore. You're still pretty poor.
I think I think that kind of concession will be made eventually. I think a big hang-up is going to be the sexual stuff.
Yeah.
Or maybe you can have a relationship and still do this. But
You
taking a vow
can't,
of
you
chastity.
can't get laid, but you can 2 fingers in.
Yeah.
Like the Mormons,
Yeah, we'll let you have that. We'll let you have, somebody can fish you in the ass, but you can't get laid. You get a little bit of both.
Well, no, dude, I mean, the Mormons were onto something. You guys familiar with soaking?
No.
Where you could put your penis inside of somebody and it doesn't count as intercourse because you're not moving.
Oh, I did.
And then, to take soaking even further, they have jump humping, where you'll soak inside of a lady, and if someone else is jumping on the bed, causing you to move in a sexual manner, that still doesn't count as intercourse.
Oh my God! This is a religion of loopholes. It's insane.
I had no idea.
Oh, I had every idea.
So it's like,
I took a deep dive.
So if the girl gives you a blowjob, but she spits it out, she's still good. And
you
as a
can't
Mormon,
do blowjobs. It only works for D&P.
Right. Yeah.
There was a guy that I who listens to one of my shows. Like I was in Denver on a layover, and me and the guys I was with were like, "Hey, if anybody wants to hang out, we have some time." He met up with us. He used to be a Mormon, and he said he was almost excommunicated because his elders found out that he got a blowjob.
Oh wow.
wow.
And he said it was a massive deal. They're like, "How could you do this?" It's like, dude, do you want me to show you?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I'd be a pretty proud excommunicated person if I get a blowjob and I was getting thrown out. I'd proudly get excommunicated. I'd take that.
What's insane about that? About the like, you have to recruit a jumper. Like, hey man, I'm soaking with my girl. Can you jump on the bed for us?
Watch my back.
Just
I'll
have
scratch mine. I'll
just
scratch
have your
yours.
5-year-old nephew running. He's gonna, he's gonna bounce on the bed. That's fine. There's no stopping him. Or you get.
That's not enough bouncing. You need I
need a fat friend.
Suppose you have a loyal dog. A loyal dog will jump on the bed. Here's a spot here.
Yeah, you got to get that. As the peanut butter that has the most sugar in it, you got to give that dog before you have your girlfriend over.
Get him hyped up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Or just be like, we got a blackmail man.
Oh, I'm getting some soaking in tonight, baby.
Soaking. Oh, that's a stud. The fucking Mormons. Again, I mean, I know the Catholics are fucked up, but the Mormons are really fucked up.
I know, they do make
Good
us Catholics
Lord.
look.
Yeah, they make Catholics look normal.
There's
for
a lot
Christ's
of
sakes.
Mormon porn out there.
What is that like?
It's mostly like chicks having to be subservient to their elders.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty good. I mean,
Mormon porn. And now we're finally getting to the best episode ever. We're talking Mormon porn. That was the whole goal of this podcast, that we could eventually talk about Mormon porn. So finally we hit it. And the Kensil's not even here, and we're talking Mormon porn.
yeah, everybody's of age. So they don't want you to bring them young.
Yeah. Mitt Company.
I knew a Brigham Young joke was coming. Yeah. We saw that coming down the pike. Is there anything sadder than a woman who's on OnlyFans, but she still has a day job? She still has to have a. She's not.
That is tough.
Because if you're on OnlyFans, but you're not making enough. You're still working at the Applebee's, or you're still working at TGI Fridays.
I got a de facto to Mike on this because you are. I mean, I don't want to say you're OnlyFans expert, but I mean you've explored the space.
I have. Like you can tell it's. You often want like. I mean, we've all gone on like acting auditions.
Yeah.
And there's people in there like casting agents. You're like, what does this guy know? But I have that thing that they have for OnlyFans chicks. Like I can look at a girl's profile and be like, this is what she should be doing. Whereas like there's ladies that I subscribe to on OnlyFans where I'm just like, you're not cut out for this. Come on. Like there's got to be something else that you can do that's going to be more lucrative for you.
Right.
I would like to be on it, but I'm too cheap. I'm a pervert, but I'm cheap, so I don't go on OnlyFans.
Yeah, they get you, man.
Yeah, because like I think like you were telling me when I was listening to you Butterly, where you're just like, it's like, oh, tip me because of this or tip me because of that, like when they're doing stuff.
Yeah, and it's like you don't have to, but at the same time, if you want the good stuff, like there's some where you sign up, it's like, all right, it's $8 a month, and you get everything. But then there's other ones where it's like, oh, it's $3 a month, but then you don't get much. They'll just send you emails saying, hey, this is what I did in this video, and for $25 you'll get all this. And it's like,
Yeah.
no.
It's like the freemium, the gaming, like you have to buy every
My cheapness cancels out my erection. I can never be part of that. I'd rather just go on Google Images and punch in the names of famous actresses and see. So Phoebe Cates' nude scene or this person's nude scene. I'm not going to pay for that. I'm curious to see what's on there, but I'm definitely not going to pay for that.
Have you tapped into AI pornography yet, Ed?
No, I should, but here's a good thing. What is AI pornography?
Oh man, you're gonna love this. So
I probably am.
you can type in all the characteristics that you like in a lady, and then the computer will generate an image that's a composite of all those characteristics.
Okay.
For instance, we were talking about nuns earlier. I like thick nuns. It's hard to come by
I
that
like
in real
thick
life.
nuns, and I cannot lie.
You other Muslims can't deny. But if you want not even very specific things, but especially if you want specific things, the computer will generate exactly what you want. Now they all have a bit of that uncanny valley effect where there's something unsettling about it. Where it's like, yeah, this definitely is all the things that I just typed in.
Yeah.
But there's something off about it that I don't know if I can get into this.
Interesting.
Wow, and what are the website? What's the best website for it? Our perverted listeners out there would like to know. Let's help them out. We got a lot of perverts who
AI
watch.
porn, you could probably find them pretty.
Just Google AI porn.
So
Well, I'll be up to 3 a.m. tonight now. Thanks a lot, Mike.
Yeah.
Well, there is one. There's a good one. If it's less perverted, and also it's you feel like less of a scumbag for doing it because you're forced to read. there's a site called Hyperdreams where you can create your own porn story.
Oh, cool.
So it's like, all right.
It's like Mad Libs?
Almost, yeah. It's like discussing Mad Libs. It's Sad Libs.
Mad Libs with masturbation. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Sad Libs.
Sad Libs. Whack off libs. That's awesome.
So when you create a person, and then I guess could you put on the like virtual reality thing and then fuck that person?
I don't know, man. I inadvertently experienced virtual reality porn once. I was over at Tim's house, and I was just sitting on the floor. I was like on the computer, and he's like, "Get a load of this," and he put the AI set. I didn't know he was doing it. He just put it over my eyes, and it's intense. Like it feels like you're actually there, which is the intent. But it's so realistic that I didn't want to go down that path because I knew it would be hard to come back from.
I remember Dennis Miller had that joke years ago. He said, "The day an unemployed iron worker can sit in his Barco lounger and simulate sex with Claudia Schiffer, it's going to make crack look like Sanka."
It is going to hit people hard, and especially with sex dolls becoming hyper realistic.
Yeah.
I'm too
Ed
cheap.
rose from his chair like a vampire.
I'm too cheap to pay for all this stuff. But the sex doll sounds great. I'm way too cheap.
I used to fuck around with a bit where it was like, if it's getting too much, will there be a secondary market for sex dolls? Where it's like the new models are out, so we gotta unload the old models.
Well, that'd be great. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get me a used sex doll.
Yeah.
Some guy in your neighborhood has one out front with a sign on it for sale.
Yeah, only 500 nuts.
Rarely used, only driven on Sundays.
There's something that I tried before, and I had to get rid of it because it felt like I had a Ouija board in the house. It's called an auto blow.
I remember they sponsor some of your stuff.
So it's like it's the size of an Xbox.
Yeah,
and I have no reservations about putting my dick in anything mechanical. So it was right up my alley. But there's all kinds of different speeds and fucking settings you could set it on that it's hyper realistic, that it really feels like you're getting sucked off. Eventually, it was definitely causing friction in my home.
Friction. Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. I think that's putting it mildly that it would cause friction in your home.
Mostly for me fucking it.
I think if my dad was simulating a blowjob, there might have been friction in the house. Yeah,
it was a hot, wet problem.
Things might have got a little tense. Wow, that's funny.
So how was it resolved? Were you just like...
I got rid of it.
You just got rid of it?
I had to throw it out because it definitely has an energy about it. So all these things, like they're really putting a lot of time and effort into developing these things. And I imagine it's causing like massive issues in people's relationships.
Yeah.
And it's probably, I wouldn't doubt if like there's guys out there that are just like, fuck this, I don't want real people anymore. I have all this without any problem.
I was just going to say, how do you even have relationships with this garbage? Why would you? Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if that's
hilarious.
necessarily a bad thing, because I feel like for a lot of people, they enter into relationships and deal with all the baggage that comes along with having somebody for the sake of sex. But if you could avoid all that.
Wow. What chance does a real woman have with this? Not with this.
Well, I mean, chicks have had vibrators forever. So.
Yeah, well, there you go. There you go. Serves you right. You're getting a taste of your own medicine.
So now we have sexual terminators.
There you go.
Yeah, we upped the game.
Keep your mouth shut. You want to keep your vibrator.
Hasta la vista, babies.
Don't say nothing. I was reading where...
Live with me if you want to come.
Yeah, that's such a good one.
After what happened with Puff Daddy, there was a college that took away his honorary degree. Who was the college that gave him an honorary degree in the first place? I mean, how would Puff Daddy qualify for an honorary degree? Can you imagine any college listening to his music and saying, this guy deserves an honorary degree?
It's probably like, oh man, it'd be sweet if Puff Daddy gave us checks to our college. Let's give him an honorary degree.
I wish I knew where it was because it took me 21 years to graduate community college. So
you probably could have did at least maybe 12 with the Puff Daddy college.
Yeah.
They took his key to the city too.
They did?
They made him return it.
Made him return his key to the city.
See, that shit should be unrefundable. It's just like if you give someone the key to the city, it's over.
He still has a key to his rape room, but he had to get back key to the city. He had to get back. Daddy's allowed the key.
Like, what are they going to do with that? Like, here's the disgraced Puff Daddy key to the city. We'll put it with the other disgraced
Are they going to give it to another person? Yeah, we're giving you a key to the city. Is that Puff Daddy's key? I don't want that.
Cross off his name. You can still see it. It's like scribbled over.
Every building in Manhattan dad's got to change his locks.
Yeah.
But it was insane because they said, like, they demanded he return the key, and then Eric Adams' office said he did, in fact, have someone return the key, but it's like, it's a real key.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's a
he doesn't
big-
have to.
Yeah.
Just say we regret giving him this honor.
Exactly.
I know. You think that guy who used to follow Pup Daddy around with the umbrella and the sun? You think he was the same guy? He had to take the key back.
Bentley.
Yeah.
He probably had to. You know the guy's name?
Yeah.
Wow. I never knew anybody who knew the guy's name before. Wow. That guy was awesome. He used to carry and keep the sun off Pup Daddy.
Would you do that job for somebody?
No, I have no dignity. But even I don't think I would do that job.
Like if Chucky called you up and was like, Ed, I need somebody to hold an umbrella over my head.
Chucky. The crossing guard. The crossing
Yeah.
guard. The guy.
Oh, my God.
You got 50% of the weed sales, Ed.
Ed, would you consider starting to write to her? Be like, damn, baby, I can't believe they did you this way.
That would be hilarious if it became a pen pal. I might have to do that just for content on the podcast to start.
You got the short end of the stick. Like just making like short puns.
They keep picking on us short people. Oh, that would be hilarious. I might have to do that now. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, free her.
And
Yeah,
we,
free her. We'll make a shirt. Make some shirts, Jim.
They
free
just have her in a dog cage.
carrier.
Go lay down. Lights out.
Bad.
reading about these college kids who were bringing their parents on job interviews. Did you read about that?
I did see that.
Can you imagine bringing your parent on a job interview?
Again, this is on the parents. The parents have to be like, number one, no, and number two, why do you think that would be acceptable?
If I had taken my dad, he would have told him not to hire me. You don't want to hire this loser. You don't want him. That would have been the worst thing I could have done, to take my dad on a job interview.
Do you feel like, and like you remember, like your parents used to say this when we were kids, saying like it hurts me more than it hurts you.
Yeah.
You definitely understand that now. Like once you have kids, where you're just like, I know it's in their best interest, but it still bothers me that I have to do this. So I imagine that's like an absurd degree of that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
like
saying? Where it's
insane.
like, where I'm sure the kid lays on the guilt trip, and you're just like, fine, I'll go because I really want this fucker to get a job and get out of my house. But from a dignity standpoint, it's like I cannot go with you to this.
And it's like right out of Step Brothers. Like I just see the dad like poking his head out from and be like, guess who? You know, like what's he gonna offer to talk about? That's like, you know what? I was on the fence, but now that your dad talked about you, I'm into it.
Now that your mom showed me your baby pictures, you're definitely hired. Dad told me how good you were cutting lawns. Well,
Yeah.
For God's sake, how can we not hire you?
Do you guys remember the last time where your parents did something for you and you realized, like, I'm probably too old for this?
Well, the last time my mother did something was when she died and she left me a free house. So that was, and I was definitely too old, but I took the free house. So I don't know about. How about you?
I don't know. Like, my mom had us pretty much on schedules. Like she's like, it was weird. It was like, when you're in this grade, no more lunches. You got to make your own lunch. When you're in this grade, laundry ends. You got to do your own laundry. Yeah. So like, I don't know where she got that. It was like some weird Dr. Spock book or whatever. But she had that on that schedule. Like, it's like, this is when things end.
Dude,
you know?
and that's perfect because I feel like, you know, my kids, they're older now. My kids are, you know, in their teens and 20s now, but it's still, there's so much shit that like my wife and I do where I'm just like, we shouldn't be doing this. Like they should have this shit under control by now. So like having that kind of schedule is definitely beneficial to everybody because it's one less thing she's got to do.
Right.
And also it's teaching you responsibility.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, looking back, it was definitely something like, yeah, I got to do that too. Because, I mean, nothing will make you ball up your fist more when your kid just says, no, you. It's like, do this, no, you. It's like, oh my God, I'm going to beat this kid up. It's infuriating, but, you know.
That's the funniest thing, though. Job interview, can you imagine? All right, let's put the topics aside. Mike, you got a new book out. Let's talk about Mike's book.
Yeah, I have a new book that's coming out July 14th. It's called Delco Dirtball. I grew up in beautiful Delco, Pennsylvania, and the book is a Wigger crime novel.
Love it.
Yeah.
A Wigger crime novel?
It is.
Best kind of crime.
Yeah, I love it when you're like, I'm creating a new genre, Wigger Noir.
Yeah, fuck it, why not? Yeah.
Wigger
It's
noir.
But yeah, the story revolves around, am I looking into the right camera? All right, so the story revolves around two loser wiggers from Delco, and they get wrongfully accused of a murder at their job, which is at Halloween Adventure. On the same day, they just happen to get an offer to fraudulently cash a check for somebody, so they have to try to cash this check while evading capture by the police for this murder that they've been falsely accused of. So if you're into into wiggers, you're into crime, you're into fiction, I think this book is something you'd enjoy. So check out Delco Dirtball at onperks.com.
Onperks.com. Now, did you self-publish this, Mike?
Yeah, I self-publish all my books.
That's awesome.
And at first, I only had one offer for somebody to publish it for me, but I didn't think it was beneficial enough, and so I've had no other choice. So it's a lot of work, but fuck it.
It's got to be. It's got to be.
And you build a lot. But what I'm so interested about this is that, like on Parx, and buy Rainey's other, books as well. On Parx is a great one. But that was a memoir. That was a good idea where you're just like, okay, these are a Facebook thing, and then I compare it to something that happened. This is like a story that you wrote. So tell me about that process, because it sounds like you've never, I not previously have seen you do something like this.
Yeah, this is my first crack at fiction. I had started to write this book a couple years ago, but I got so frustrated with it that I ended up writing on Parx, because most of the shit was already done for that.
Right.
But this time I was just resolved to finally get it done. And as I started to write it, I was like, all right, I feel like I'm getting the hang of this.
Nice.
And as the story progressed, I was like, oh, this is a cool story. And I had fun doing it, so I think if I'm having fun doing it, people are going to have fun reading it.
Yeah.
And it's very silly. It's very fucked up. There's some really disgusting sex scenes in it.
Nice.
There's murder. There's crooked cops.
The crossing guard's not in it. No,
I might have to put out a second edition and put her in it. But it's basically it's like every weird character that I could think of that I've encountered in Delco, I tried to put some element of them into the story.
Right. Okay.
And I still live in Delco. Delco is a strange place. It's a fucked up place, but it's also a place that I love.
And you've been there your whole life, right?
Yeah. I don't know that I'll ever leave. I'm 45 now, so and I would be fine with staying there forever.
Nice.
So yeah, I have a lot of fun doing it.
Now, the things that happened in the book, is that anything that ripped from the headlines or something that happened in your life or anything like that?
Yeah,
there's a bunch of things that are autobiographical. Like the first thing that comes to mind is one of my old corner bars used to have a resident coke dealer. And
is there a bar in Delco that doesn't have a resident coke dealer?
I'm sure they all get together to talk about.
Well, this was the first one that I became aware of.
There's a union, for Christ's sakes. That's how much.
And it was really progressive because it was a female coke dealer.
Oh, that is.
And it was so nice because all you'd have to do is just make eyes with her, and she'd meet you out back, and you'd get what you wanted. And then one night, I wasn't there for this, but this story was relayed to me secondhand. They said she had a mental health crisis, and there were train tracks behind the bar. She left the bar in a huff, and she laid on the train tracks because Amtrak used to come through there.
Oh my God.
And when people realized that, oh shit, she might be on the train tracks, a bunch of the guys came in and brought her off the tracks, not out of morality, but just of a case of...
They didn't want to lose a good coke dealer. Who can blame them? Come on.
So
there's so much to live for. I need an 8-ball.
You want to lose the girl you just make eyes at and get coke, you can't lose her.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people like that in the book, and...
the funny thing was the next day a nun laid on the tracks and nobody went out and got her. They just left it. The coke dealer they rescued.
What an insane, silent movie way to kill yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, right?
Yeah, was she a Buster Keaton fan?
Yeah.
That's funny. So when does it come out, Mike?
So you can pre-order the book now, but it officially comes out July 14th. And that book, my last book, On Parx, my previous 2 books, it's all available at onperks.com.
Onperks.com, the best website. There you go.
Yeah, and I'm doing a special giveaway for this too. So
nice.
If you pre-order, which runs now through July 14th, you're going to get an invite to a special movie theater screening of my favorite movie, which also happens to be the funniest movie of all time, which is, want to take a guess?
I know what it is. And I've still never seen this
Funniest
movie.
movie with Blazing Saddles. I don't know.
I do love that movie, but this movie is MacGruber.
Yeah,
MacGruber. I've never seen
I've still never seen it.
You've never seen it? Is it that good?
It's the funniest movie I've
I've
ever
had
seen.
to try.
Yeah, you definitely raved about it.
Right,
We've talked about it. I got to see it. It's on the
I
list.
rented out a movie theater, so everybody that pre-orders gets an invite to this movie theater screening, and then the following day, I'm having the Rain Train barbecue, which is just a barbecue that I'm throwing in appreciation for everybody that orders the book.
Nice.
Do you think the coke dealer will be at the screening?
I haven't been to that barn forever because I got sober in 2017, but I might have to go into there because I know it's still there. It's just under different management. So I gotta I have to go in there at some point just to see who's still there.
Right, yeah.
Well, the new manager was smart enough to keep the coke dealer. It sounded like she was bringing in the customers. I mean, it would have been mismanagement if he got rid of the coke dealer.
She was great, man, and I think of her often.
Mike,
Maria, if you're watching, I miss you so much.
Mike doesn't think of any of his old girlfriends or school teachers, but he thinks about that coke dealer very often.
That's right.
A lot of teachers.
You got me beat. You got me
Well,
beat.
I just wanted to add about the future. Is this where you kind of see what your next book? Because it sounded like to me like this is the path you're on. You want to keep making books and
Yeah, I'm
writing
gonna keep.
books.
I just like writing books. Man.
Yeah.
And
do you see more fiction, more of these
there is,
kind of stories?
So I'd like to set more fictional stories in Delco.
Yeah.
Just because there's so much of everything there.
Yeah.
There's so many different fucked up aspects of life that I really feel like, and I do like noir stuff, like James Ellroy. The guy who wrote L.A. Confidential. He's one of my favorite writers.
Right.
So this is kind of like my Delco version of that noir genre.
Fun.
I do like that stuff, but then also it's, I just like making silly stuff. Like I made a serial killer themed Christmas album last year. I want to do more stuff like that.
Now, is the book more, would you say more noir or more comedy or mix?
It's more comedy.
Okay.
There's definitely like a humorous tone throughout, but there's enough fucked up shit that I think people would be like, all right.
Okay, cool. I can't wait
that's fucked up.
I can't wait to read
nice.
it. That's gonna be awesome. That's
Yeah.
gonna be. All right, let's play this week's game. Who's your favorite celebrity murderer? The four contestants are O.J. Simpson, Phil Spector, Alec Baldwin, and John Wilkes Booth. Because a lot of people know that John Wilkes Booth was a famous actor before he shot Lincoln. So which is not people. Some people know that. Some people don't know that. His brother was more famous, but he's the one who shot Lincoln.
Right.
What do you think, OJ?
Definitely
Baldwin?
OJ. OJ's the goat. OJ's the goat murderer. Because
I don't know. John Wilkes Booth, that's pretty good. He walked right up behind the president and blew his head off. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the Mount Rushmore of actor murderers. Man.
That really is. That's hard to beat that.
Yeah.
Walk up behind the president and shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
don't
saw
know.
the Grant documentary, and it talked because like they just won the war not that long ago. Before
It was
that
only
happened.
five days between
Yeah.
the Lee's surrender and Lincoln's assassination.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's like Len Bias dying on draft night.
Exactly. It's like you got through the hardest part.
It's feeling worse now when he got killed.
Yeah.
And Lincoln's assassination, which a lot of people don't know, happened on Good Friday, which is crazy.
Yeah. I also heard that John Wilkes Booth jumped off and broke his leg.
Broke his
right?
leg, yeah.
And then made it to a doctor, and the doctor didn't know what was going on, and the doctor treated him.
Dr. Mudd.
And then they found that out, and then they threw him in jail, no trial or whatever.
And
It's
that's
like
where,
you can't do that.
That's where
And
the
he didn't
term
know.
comes from. When people say your name is Mudd, it's from Dr. Mudd, who fixed. That's where that comes from.
really?
Yeah. There's a movie made about him. It's called, what the hell was it? It was an old movie from 1930.
There will be mud.
Yeah.
John Ford directed it. I forget what it was called, but it's an old movie about what he experienced when he went to jail and he would getting beat up in jail.
Yeah.
It's an old black and white movie. I forget the name. Prison Shark Island, maybe? Prison. I forgot to find out what the name of it was. It's pretty cool. But I think he's got to be the GOAT celebrity murderer. To shoot the president, then jump off and get away with a broken leg?
True.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
Can't be Phil Spector. I mean, he was showing off a gun and accidentally shot a hooker. That doesn't count. Anybody can do that. Anybody can be drunk and accidentally shoot a hooker. That doesn't count.
Hookers are like murder batting practice, man.
Yeah.
And Alec Baldwin, he only killed a cinematographer. What is that?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything. So
Like, come on, Phil. Like, I can hit dingers in a t-ball field too, man.
Right.
But I would go with OJ. Like, I'm just partial
Really?
to OJ, and I do think a lot of people think that OJ was found not guilty in large part because of like very complicated relationships between the LAPD and the black community. But I truly think that him being found not guilty had more to do with him being such a good slapstick comedic actor. Because if Mr. Bean went to trial for cutting his wife's head off, there's no jury that will convict him.
Right.
Who else we got?
he was so good as the fireman in Towering Inferno. They had to let him go. For God's sake, you stole scenes from Paul Newman. Let him go.
They're calling clumsy Italian bakers to the witness stand. Why do we have a cake in here?
Yeah, that whole scene in Naked Gunman. Throw down your guns. Yeah, that's probably got him off. That scene right there.
I mean, I don't know. We haven't had a good celebrity
No,
crime in a while.
Well, that's why I'm saying OJ's the GOAT, because the trial enthralled us for over a year. It was unbelievable.
Dude, it wasn't even the trial. It was just like from start to finish.
And
like
the Bronco,
chase. And it was like, oh man, it was perfect for Hollywood.
Yeah.
I went to Nicole's house a few years back.
Wow.
And
I think it was that the trip that we went on.
We went.
Yeah.
But Mike and I actually went.
Yeah.
And then after that, I went back because I'm a weirdo, and I timed myself driving the rental car from her house to OJ's house to see how long it would take.
Love it.
And it's doable, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick. You can get there pretty quick. But dude, when we went there, one of the things that really stood out to me was just how noisy it was on Bundy Drive. Because you wonder, like, all right, how did more people not hear something going on? But when you hear the traffic out there,
Oh, wow.
you really get a feel for, like, okay,
there you
I
go.
could get like why people didn't think anything of whatever noise was happening out here.
Well, listen, in my neighborhood, it's that way. You wouldn't. One time I saw a guy used to live across the back from me. He's a drug dealer. And I saw him one night getting his ass kicked by one of his black customers. And I just closed the curtains. I didn't call anybody. I didn't say I wasn't getting involved. So there
That's
were
a smart
probably
move.
people who saw it and didn't get involved.
Yep.
There probably was somebody that thought there's a guy with a knife. I'm not saying anything.
Dude, there was another guy, Glenn Rogers, who's known as the Casanova Killer. But at the time of the OJ murders, he was a handyman in that area, and he claims to have done some work for Nicole Simpson.
Yeah.
And Glenn Rogers told his brother that he was involved in the murder.
Really?
I think he's just injecting himself.
Yeah,
into
it
a
sounds like it. A lot of
Yeah,
people. A
get it.
lot of people do that.
But it
That's
is
true.
nuts that somebody who ended up becoming a convicted serial killer was also in that orbit at the same time.
Yeah,
It
right.
sounds like he was just injecting himself like that guy that they based the Irishman movie on. Did you see?
Yeah.
He tried to take credit for killing Hoffa and for killing Crazy Joe Gallo, and then people come out and said, no, he didn't do either one. People just try to inject themselves in that. What did I want to do here? Okay, Pat Sajak retired. And somehow they found somebody even more boring than Sajak to take over, Ryan Seacrest. How did they find somebody even more boring than Pat Sajak? Even less talented.
Is Vanna White still spinning the
Vanna
letters?
White's still
How did Vanna White outlast Pat Sajak?
Pat Sajak had the greatest case of blue balls in history. 40 years near Vanna White. The only person with more blue balls was Jim Gardner watching Cecily Tynan do the weather.
My dad's a big Cecily guy, and do you remember there was a time, maybe like a decade ago, where she was out on medical leave, and nobody knew why.
Wow.
Not that it was anybody's business, but nobody knew why she was out on medical leave. And they made an announcement that she'll be coming back soon. And I was watching the news with my parents, and my dad was like, Cecily, if you need an organ, I'll donate one. My mom's like, why don't you donate the one that doesn't work?
Damn. Nice burn in the Rainey household. Great work.
See who Mike takes after him.
Yeah. Did your dad?
With the limp penis or the jokes?
Probably a little bit of both.
There you go either way. But do you think people, is Ryan Seacrest going to bring any new viewers to
No. Wow.
Wheel of Fortune?
I think
is there
he's
anybody
perfect.
who's
Dude,
going to
I
say,
think he's perfect because with a gig like that, you just want somebody who's non-threatening, who's handsome, and who's vaguely gay.
that's Ryan Seacrest?
Yeah.
He's now taken over. He took over for Dick Clark. He took over for Regis. He took over for Casey Kasem on America's Top 40, and now Pat Sajak. He takes over for everybody.
Yeah. All guys who, if you found out they got caught sucking hogs in a rest stop bathroom, you'd be like, yeah, definitely.
Of course that guy. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God.
But he's the iPhone. It sounds like, you know what I'm saying? He does all the jobs that 5 people used
It's
to
amazing.
do.
He took over for all of them.
Yeah.
I had one guy, but he gets all the jobs.
Is Drew Carey still doing Prices
Yeah,
Right?
he's still doing that.
Oh, good for him, man.
I don't know if Wayne Brady's still doing Let's Make a Deal or not. I don't know about that. He was for a while.
Yeah, he was doing that for a long time.
But yeah, Drew Carey, he's definitely doing it.
And that's a lifetime gig.
Oh,
So
yeah.
never
Gig,
take
man.
Price is Right will never go off the air. But I thought Wheel of Fortune would eventually sunset. But I guess people, and that's the thing too. And this will, to your point, it doesn't matter who you put up there.
Apparently-
People are watching for the puzzles a lot more for the.
Who do they have?
you know.
Who's doing Jeopardy now? Is that Ken Jennings? Is he the hosted?
I think they rotate.
Okay.
He was perfect.
I thought Ken Jennings was perfect too.
Ken Jennings, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. But
It's funny, man.
I would have liked to see LeVar Burton for Reading Rainbow. I think that he
people were
would've-
nominating him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But getting back to where we started with Belichick, you mentioned Price is Right. Bob Barker was banging all them girls. He was a guy. Nobody suspected him of being a guy like. He was like a guy like Belichick, this old hard ass who was banging all the young girls.
Yeah.
Bob Barker, which is a couple of them. I think a couple of them filed a lawsuit.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
When I was a
Barker-
kid, I used to think the the Barker Beauties were deaf because they never spoke. Again, I just realized that they weren't mic'd up.
They had Bob's dick in their mouth. They couldn't speak. But that's, I mean, when you were watching that as a kid, you never would have said, yeah, Bob Barker, he's getting all kind of pussy. Nobody would have said that, but apparently it was.
You kind of could have assumed, maybe because he's the good-looking host, having power over a lot, like a harem of women. Like, I mean, there was like at least 15 women on the show showing prizes.
You're absolutely right about that. He was the Hugh Hefner of boring morning TV. He really was.
And no other game show has that, Has 15 chicks in the show.
That really was. I mean, didn't that Howie Mandel one try that?
Deal or
No with the
Deal,
girls with the suitcases?
Yeah.
And what's her name was one of them? The one who ended up marrying Prince Harry. What's her name? Meghan Markle. She was one of those suitcase girls on the Howie Mandel show.
We need more sniz.
It's a great game show idea.
Yeah.
So, you guys are basketball fans, right?
Yeah.
See what Dan Hurley turned down $70 million to coach the Los Angeles Lakers? Turned down. How much does that tell you what a jackass LeBron James is? That you'll turn down $70 million because you don't want to coach LeBron James. You don't want to be anywhere near LeBron.
Oh, was that the UConn coach who won the title?
And he turned down $70 million to coach the Lakers. I mean, I tell you all you need to know about LeBron. It
sounds like he's going to be able to get that from UConn because I think what he makes now isn't too far off from that. And his wife was a huge factor in staying because she's kind of like the queen of stores. Connecticut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and if you go to L.A., it's,
I don't know. I got a suspicion that, big part of it had to be, fuck LeBron. I don't want to deal with that coach killer. He kills every coach.
Yeah, but at the same time, too, I think that, is L.A. even going to keep LeBron? Because there's a rumor that he might leave.
It seems, I think he's staying. I think they're going to draft the son, maybe like in the second round or something. I think he's staying for what they're saying. I believe he's staying.
Okay. And now Redick got the
and he's LeBron's buddy. They were doing a podcast, so he's got to be staying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he must have engineered until a year from now when they have a falling out and he throws him overboard. Like he throws. There's nobody he hasn't thrown. He's worse than Buster Keaton as far as throwing people in front of a train. LeBron James. I've never seen anybody throw people in front of trains like he does. It's absurd the way he throws people. How about the Timberlake? Got the DUI?
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Is he the most boring bad boy you've ever seen in your life? How could Justin Timberlake be a bad boy? It used to be guys like Keith Richards or Keith Moon. Now it's Justin Timberlake. Like, imagine a cop who arrested him. They would probably busted his balls back at the station. Oh, wow, you got Justin Timberlake. Great police work.
And there's, from what I saw about it, the officer was so young that he didn't know who he was.
How could you be that young? What was he, 12? He doesn't know who Justin Timberlake was?
Yeah, I don't know, yeah.
I don't know. In his defense, I can't think of the last hit song that Justin Timberlake had.
True.
And the amazing thing was they pulled him over for DUI, and now Janet Jackson is doing 10 days in jail. That's the amazing part.
He's bringing Ubers back.
There you go. Is that funny though? Justin Timberlake is a bad boy now. That's too ridiculous.
You gotta think it's like the best thing that could happen if you're just starting a tour.
Oh sure, well it would have been for rock bands like the Stones or somebody, the Ramones. It would have been awesome publicity. I don't know this pussy age we live in now if it's good publicity, but it used to be for the old rock stars.
He might be in jeopardy of not getting Trolls 4 or whatever. Like
Keith Richards and Ron Wood used to time their arrests right before every tour. They would do it on purpose. But I don't know about that now. With this woke culture you live in, you can't do anything. You can't do anything. I was reading about they have a lot of shoplifting at dollar stores. You imagine being that cheap that you're shoplifting at a dollar store? You have that bad taste? You're shoplifting at dollar stores?
the worst is you got to get the keys to get freaking shaving cream now. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Everything at Target,
Yeah.
you got to stand there ringing a buzzer. You feel like you feel ridiculous waiting for the kid in a red shirt to come running over so I can get
like,
your.
Can I have toilet paper? It's like it's not like high end items here.
Yeah, I'm buying a cheap laundry detergent. Can you get it out for me? That's ridiculous. It's amazing.
Yeah.
If you could get away with it, what would you steal?
What would I steal? I don't know what I would
Besides
steal.
hearts.
I mean,
yeah, well, I've been doing that my whole life.
I was guilty of stealing razor blades for a while because they were marvelously overpriced and they were little. So you'd be like, if I would get like a huge order, I would pocket them, which is like an $8 score, and just be on my way. So I was, and then they start locking them up because obviously I wasn't the only one who had that idea.
Well, when I was not even a teenager, maybe 12 or 13. I grew up with, what's his name? You guys know Sudsy, right?
Yeah.
Dave K. Well, me and him grew up across the street from each other. And we used to shoplift comic books out of this corner store, me and Dave. There was this old, she had to be like 70 years old, this woman, and she had one arm. And she was so bad, she was so oblivious, we could just stand there, stick the comic books on the back of our shirts and walk out of the fucking store. She never had a clue that we were stealing these comic books.
Right.
His whole woman with one arm. Which we were not Catholic boys taking advantage of a one-armed woman to steal.
Thank God she didn't know, because she would have told the police you were both armed.
Stealing our Iron Man comic books.
How about you?
I had a stealing phase. When I was a teenager, I used to steal CDs.
Yeah, I stole tapes. I stole Ice-T Power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. And I think more than, of course I listened to them, but like I think more than anything, I like feeling like a bad boy. But now I'm good on stealing.
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously we're talking about long ago.
I also used to like to steal Red Bull, but it was mostly because I just didn't have any money. And Red Bull, like a pack of Red Bull was like $18.
Right.
So I would just put it underneath the cart.
Underneath the cart trip. Yeah. There's everybody's done the underneath the cart.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't smart enough to do the under the cart tricks. I never even thought of that.
Well, yeah. You put it on, and then like it's one of those things where if you get caught, they're like,
I forgot to ring it
sorry
out.
about that.
Wow. I should have thought of it as cheap as I am. Now you might be tempting me now.
Had a baby with me.
Oh, right, yeah, because they're like, ooh,
You think I'm going to shoplift when I got my baby with me? What's wrong with you? I'm a respectable citizen.
Yeah.
And you walk it out with a big screen TV.
Yeah.
I was reading about these guys who, they went into like a Bass Pro Shop and they stole a canoe. What they did is they just picked the canoe up, the two of them walking out, and nobody's going to stop it. Well, they must have paid for it. They're carrying a canoe, and they just walked out of the store with a canoe.
Didn't someone jump into the water? Because those places, those big sports shops have like big nature kind of enclosures and stuff. And I know that somebody jumped into it's like a lake, not a lake, but I mean it's like a big pool.
Yeah, it's like a man-made aquarium.
Yeah,
and,
right.
Well, I guess all aquariums
Jumped
are
in
man-made,
to
but-
do what? What was the purpose of jumping in?
He had a psychotic break, and he drove to Bass Pro Shops to, I guess, complete a psychotic break. And Eddie, he took off all of his clothes, jumped in there, had the most pronounced case of public micropenis I've ever seen, and they arrested him without putting clothes on.
I haven't streaked yet. Who had a worse psychotic breakdown? The guy in the Bass Pro Shop or the coke dealer on the train tracks, you think? Who? That's two
I think
pretty
the coke
bad.
lady, because she tried to end her life. This guy was just going for a swim.
Yeah, this guy just wanted some attention.
Well, we've done about an hour. Should we end on a psychotic? You think we should end on a psychotic breakdown? Because I think most people who watch this podcast are having psychotic breakdown. I want to thank my two guests, Mike O'Donnell. Please watch all the Comedy Train Rek podcasts. Support all of them. Mike Rainey, give the date again for the book.
July 14th at allperks.com. You can buy it now, though. It's
Delco
pre-order.
Dirtball. And get up Mike's other books and listen to Dad Meat and Little Stinkers. Any stand-up gigs coming up, Mike?
In my next stand-up shows are in August. I'm going to be coming to Dallas and Austin. Dallas Comedy Club on August 21st, and then The Creek in the Cave on August 22nd.
Nice. And as I say every week, if there's any comedy bookers out there, it wouldn't kill you to book Ed McGonigal. That's all I'm saying. It wouldn't kill you. Might not help you, but it wouldn't kill you. I want to thank the two Mikes and Jim Corhan. Thanks. We'll see you on the next episode.
Comedy Train